A very good morning to our viewers of Smart 24 TV. Of course, it is time for Smart Means Business right now, and it is exactly 7 a.m. and it is 9th of February 2024. And of course, today we are going to be looking at the impact of piracy on local film industry, and we'll be looking also at accounting the cost, because we see the Ugandan industry is actually developing in so many ways when it comes to music, when it comes to the film industry. So we are going to be looking at this and seeing how the copyright law is actually being enforced in Uganda. And of course, I'm joined with Mercy Kansimi in the studio today. Good morning, Mercy.
Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, our dear viewers that have just tuned in to Smart Means Business every Monday to Friday. And of course, today is the last day of the week, and hopefully that you're ready to wrap up the week. Well, talking about copyright and piracy. Well, for copyright, I don't think it has really been imposed in Uganda. When you look at even music itself,
yes,
people do have get music anywhere.
Yeah, you can, as long as the person gets the song. They've been trying to put their songs on Spotify. So when you get the song, you have to pay money. When you go on Apple Music, you have to pay. So Ugandans are actually trying. But if I download it today, I can share it with Mercy. And Mercy doesn't have to pay for the song. So at the end of the day, you also find different business owners can actually put for people on their flash, and they can find a way to get the music with or without the help of the people.
Yeah, well, of course, when you look at the movie industry, I'm talking about the movie industry, well, there's always a cost to pay when it comes to pirated movies. And of course, people do not pay for them at the end of the day. So someone copies it and they, you take a copy as well. So there is a direct loss of income when it comes to likes of ticket sales, subscriptions, and of course other distribution channels too. When you think of it, well, as we are thriving as the movie industry or the film industry in Uganda, I don't think we can rule out the fact that we are developing. So there is no way we could say probably piracy will go anytime soon. I don't think, because even in America, there are actually more pirated movies in America than in Uganda. Because most of the things that we get on our different apps, our movie apps, are pirated movies. Yes. They are pirated movies.
If they have the copyright law really enforced, they wouldn't have this problem at the end of the day.
Well, you can take an instance. I'm sorry to say, but Telegram. Telegram has channels of movies, and we go out and
yes, you download for free. Yeah. And on YouTube, they were also trying to make us pay for the movies. There's a certain movie you would try to find, and they're telling you can rent it at a fee. That means after watching it, you cannot have it. Once it's done being watched, they remove it from you, meaning you can't copy it. And also looking at piracy, at the end of the day, we have so many people who try to translate the movies into our local language. Yeah. And when the movies used to be only in the cinemas here in Uganda, once a movie comes out and everyone wants to watch it, you find that a person goes with the camera into the cinema, they record the movie, and people actually buy the pirated movie.
Very much.
Yes, since they don't want to miss out. But people actually, I think after lockdown, most people go to find a way around, and cinemas these days are actually having less of views and less of people, because back in the day, Ugandans didn't know how to get movies and they didn't know how to subscribe. So right now you find that Ugandans are finding their way around, and they're actually trying to be more people who buy and people who don't go for piracy, a lot of it.
Yeah, when people have enroll themselves, subscribing for Netflix, subscribing for very many things just to get clear copies of certain movies. But anyway, so as we hope to find means to make sure that the movie industry of Uganda progresses, we have to make sure that we do away with piracy. That not only starting from these movies that the blockbuster movies that we that are anticipated from the cinemas and all that. So definitely, I feel like I have a feeling one day cinemas will be normal.
Yes, because people have so many applications on their phones. Yes.
Online,
Yeah, but also here in Uganda, they say the registrar for the copyright Here in Uganda, it's there. You go, you apply, you write an application, then you pay a registration fee of 50,000. But of course, this is Uganda. The fee that is usually put there, that is not the fee you pay. So you find that this person will tell you, you go pay this 50,000 in the bank. Before you know it, they're telling you, pay this, pay that. And afterwards, then you have to attach the copy of what you want to be copyrighted. So then you give it to them, then they protect it. But we see our celebrities, for some time now, they've been trying to ask the government to actually look into it, to make sure all their work that they do is actually protected from the people, from piracy, from being sold at a cheaper price, because at the end of the day, they cannot be compensated because their input is quite a lot. You find a musician doing a music video of over 25 million or 15 million, and at the end of the day, they are not earning and getting back.
The video,
It's already out, and people, they already know what it is.
Yeah.
So this is, if actually the government really looks into it, they say, okay, you've registered for your song to be copyrighted. If anybody uses it when they're not supposed to use it, this is supposed to happen. But right now, as Ugandans, when you talk about copyright, people actually don't know what copyright is.
They do not know.
Yes, when you say copyright, they're like, oh, copyright, BBG. They don't really get it. So if these musicians and the movie industries we have in Uganda are actually protected, maybe the entertainment industry will actually grow more, since we have them being compensated according to how they're actually putting in. At the end of the day, you find that you as a person, if you know your material is protected and whatever you're investing is actually going to come back, you'll actually be more enthusiastic when you're doing whatever it is.
I think we've had several cases of copyright in Uganda. I think there were a bunch of artists. I think two. There was a feud between the two, and one of them was claiming that they stole their beats, the beats to the song. If you realize, here in Africa, it's where people copy beats and they incorporate in their own
It is
words.
very, very common. You find a Ugandan repeating a song from a bit he found from a Nigerian, and they're singing it, the exact song, but singing it in Luganda. And you're like, wow, so there is no copyright. But Ugandans, actually, them as them, they need to be more sensitized more about the copyright law. Because you find so many people repeating other people's songs from Kenya, from Tanzania, from Nigeria, from Hollywood. You find sometimes a celebrity being used as an ad in a certain salon or a restaurant, and their music plays the whole day in a certain shop. And that means their music is being used. They're supposed to be paid by the shop owner. But these people freely use these things without actually consulting the owner of the song or whatever the video.
Actually, I think it's in the US where the DJs actually do pay the artists.
They do?
Yeah.
I want to go and live in the US because there's money.
Because
now.
I mean, you're paying them so that their music for their music.
Yes.
Yes.
But you see, also on TikTok, there are certain songs that cannot be played there.
Oh yeah.
They tell you due to the copyright.
Drake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Due to the copyright law, this sound cannot be used, and it is muted immediately.
Yes.
And this is where you see such things, because some people make sounds, they usually go viral. There was a lady sometime back after lockdown, she was saying Tuli Waweru, Tuli Waweru. So everyone started using it, even the DJs in the clubs, people were using it in adverts, people were using it like a quote. So I feel like if she had actually done her sound and it had a copyright, I feel she would have made money out of the sound.
Just that it was intentional. She didn't mean it to go viral.
But you know, I think as Ugandans, if you actually put that limit, people would be rich.
Oh God, I'd be like, this is my voice, this is me. You had no right to use it.
There are many sounds people use, more so the DJs. You also find even musicians.
Sound?
Yes.
Mulife, don't run.
Mulife, where are you running? All those things. These are things that actually need to be paid for, because once it goes viral and you know it is actually going viral and it can make you money, go register the sound and say anybody who uses it, they have to pay me. But as Ugandans, at the end of the day, you find that even in a song, this person will use content that is not there.
Yes.
Or they'll get a video the way it is. They come and copy it the way it is and bring it back to us. the viewers. And usually you would sit, you're like, wait, isn't this the same video like the other one? Isn't this the same song like the other one? And then you're like, but now Uganda, we're used to copying. So
You know, I like the fact that if you remember the early 2000s, there was a little bit, I don't think there was a lot of piracy or something. Because now if you look at music, I'm going to say music now, every song had its own kind of genre, every song had its own beats.
Yes.
You know, so I don't think there was a lot. Maybe when it came to R&B, hip hop, rap, that's where people almost have the same kind of twist of language, you know. But otherwise, I think other genres are okay. But for movies, I think the only time we get privacy is when people go to the cinemas and get their phones or cameras. Those who have nice phones and record. And then they start selling it to people.
Yeah, but also we see with all this piracy going around, more so with the growing industry of Uganda in the film mostly, we see that most people tend to lose their jobs. Since you've invested 15 million and you're getting back 3 million after that, this of course will lead to loss of jobs, and you'll find that the revenue itself has to charge you as a person who is putting out this movie out there, but it will also lead to fewer productions in the industry, which is not good as a country. If we are looking to have the film industry get to a certain level we actually want it to be, this would actually be bad, because back to the country, the revenue they will not be getting. The producers will also be making losses.
But for Ugandan movies, actually, if you realize the very various movies that we have, it's very hard to access them, actually. It's very hard. Even if you go on YouTube, there will be short clips. It's extremely hard. Unless they have willed it to put
well,
like
I think they put the short clips so that you watch it, and then when it's entertaining, you're like, where can I get it from? Where can I get it from? So, but of course, there are some people who get chances. They download whatever they've downloaded, and before you know it, they've spread it. Just like those videos that go viral. Someone will send you a video, Mercy, have you seen this? You send it to Charlotte, have you seen this? And before you know it, the video is going around, and the person has actually not made what they expected to make out of the video, which is quite sad. But well, of course, right now, we are going to go into our press and see what is happening in our press review. Well, of course, here we have the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. And of course, like always, we always tell you what is happening in the newspapers. And you're supposed to always get yourself a copy to know more about what is happening in your country. You know, it is very, very important to actually know. You read newspapers, because when they're reading the news, they don't usually tell you everything. But of course, we're seeing here experts. Yes, Mercy.
That's the headline. Oh, God.
Okay, I hadn't seen this other part, but experts link sex to some cancers. So I think we should have less of it for cancer not to spread more.
We shall read more into that. It's really, really transmitted.
Well, they're saying here, call of caution. World Health Organization data shows that among the top 10 cancers in the country, at least 4 are linked to sexually transmitted infections such as human papillomavirus and HIV and hepatitis B virus.
Oh, yeah.
But then most people, when they're going to meet their partners or when they're meeting a partner for the first time, they usually think it's only HIV that needs to be checked, and they forget the other things. That is why you find them with hepatitis B and everything else.
Yeah, but there is, you can go for vaccination, I think, 2 injections. Well, in the New Vision, how medicine is smuggled out of Mulago Hospital. Yes.
Uganda for you.
And of course, undercover journalist exposes tricks used by workers. Yeah, and of course, poor living conditions at police affect officers' work. By the people living in very, very bad conditions. These police officers.
Well, we see here parents share the pain of high fees This week it's just been parents crying out and crying and crying. And of course, I see here one of the parents has said, I have 3 biological children, 2 dependents, and all are of school going age. But being a vendor on streets of Masaka City, I am not in position to raise the needed fees. They are now just home.
Well, American Emmy award-winning producer, eager to showcase Uganda to the world, and of course he is a simple Emmy-winning investigator, reporter, and producer. He's an American most recognized, honorable, and respected frontline travel news journalist. So he's going to be making a documentary of our country. So
why is a white person making a documentary of our country?
Yeah. That is what I would ask myself if I were you as well.
Because we have so many people here in Uganda that can actually...
CBS actually. So he's going to make a documentary of Uganda. So you will actually, if he makes a documentary, you'll see the difference on the depiction. Because now Uganda hosted the NAM, the G77 plus China summit.
Personally,
there is need for the world to know that there is more.
Mercy, no. You know, nobody can tell your story better than you.
I know.
At the end of the day, this white person is going to give the Ugandan story in his own perspective. But if it was a Ugandan writing a documentary or doing the documentary about his country, he would actually give the actual facts because the person actually knows the country better than this white person who wants to. So you also find even the film industry itself right now, we are seeing most of the reality shows we are having, they are being made by the white people, and they're making these girls go fake or the men be fake on whatever they're doing, and it's all not reality. So nobody can tell your story like you yourself can.
Know, for one to make a documentary of their country, you have to be objective. First of all, you shouldn't have a side. Portray Uganda the way it is, not out of emotion. Yes.
Not out of anger.
Yes.
Not out of asking for funds.
Yes.
You just be real.
Be real.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, fake vaccines complicate FMD fight. That's what the government is saying. This comes a day after the National Drug Authority said it found fake and unauthorized FMD vaccines on the market.
And of course, teachers' inadequate knowledge impedes new curriculum use. Yeah, like they're actually encouraging teachers to go for training because of this new curriculum.
Please, they should.
Yeah.
And no way out for 30 Ugandans stuck in Nyanama, says government. Mr. Mulimba and diplomatic sources say the victims were lured with the promise of 5 better jobs in Malaysia and Thailand, only to end up drafted to fight against the military junta. This is what is actually happening. People are saying, oh, I'm not going to use the agency. You know, these agencies, they are thieves. You know, these agencies are going to do this. And then they are told by other people, they take them through water. Then they have to, whatever, find such problems.
Insecurity, theft rampant at Mulago Hospital. And of course, it's very funny how people be undercover and... Yeah, I think being a journalist is one of the coolest things I can say.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, giving people the information that they need. Because they are real at the end of the day. They want to expose.
A journalist will call AA. Usually they don't like to cover it up. Yeah. But of course, for those of you who want to go to China, of course, get yourself a copy of the newspapers, and at least you'll get to see how to actually apply for a Chinese visa, so that you don't go through the long process, you don't get frauded by the people that are outside saying they can actually get you the visa when they can't. So you just have to get yourself a copy of the newspapers, then you'll see how you can get it in the fastest way. And of course, URA on the spot over shooting of smugglers. So the tax body says it is investigating the claims and calls for calm among the traders. There were some traders, there's some traders that are actually being shot when they're taking goods to South Sudan.
Did they smuggle them?
Most of them were seen as smugglers, but some of them that were shot in the process were not smugglers. Yes.
In every country, there is smugglers at the airport, at the depot centers, cargo areas, ports. There are smugglers, yeah. And it would be a shock if one of you have a friend or a family member who's a smuggler. Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot in here, and also we are seeing the graduates. They're still graduating from other universities.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and why bad journalists may not do good journalism. As a Ugandan media consumer, reading short notes on your editors and reporters' capabilities enhance your trust on news. So that is for the journalists out there that are watching.
And UAE, the United Arab Emirates Muslim community drills 47 boreholes. You know, talking about yesterday we were looking into the areas and the and the minister.
Yeah, and well, of course, we are joined with Andrew right now, and he's on the streets of Kampala to tell us more what is happening with traffic. Good morning, Andrew.
Marcy and Charlotte, and coming live here at and of course getting to us at the quite of this particular area, and of course the bypass at the same time the Hira Road. Ever since I arrived here, there is a lot of vehicles. There is they are highly but they're in a little bit patient for you to reach your now, first, you can take a look at the road. As you can clearly see, there is quite an inflated of the vehicles. There are quite a number of them, but it's in motion, and the advantage here is there is not any in control of the vehicles. Yeah, actually, there is one. There is what I'm observing.
Network on the streets, you know, usually when it rains here in Uganda, we tend to have disturbance in the network. Well, you'll forgive us for that. But of course, we are going to go right into what is happening in the borders of East Africa or in Caribbean, East Africa.
Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome to a world where homes tell stories and properties more than just structures. Properties 360 unlocks the doors to your next adventure in real estate. We go beyond the curb appeal to explore the heart and soul of every property. We are diving into the latest materials, exploring cutting-edge technologies, and witnessing the birth of architectural marvels. From cozy starter homes to luxurious estates, we are giving you an all-access pass to the most stunning properties on the market. Meet the visionaries behind these spaces, hear stories of families finding their dream homes, and get insider tips from the pros. Properties 360, where homes come alive.
Don't miss on Smart 24 TV.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're so tingy. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.